You're funny.
Like I said. Like I said. Like I said. Do you like my tail?
Like I said.
And we're back here with Iron Rage, and I'm here with Lee Priest on Arnold Classic Week. A few days from now, we will be kicking off the Arnold Classic event of 2022. Great lineup. We're going to talk about all 9 guys, and Lee Priest is going to give you his opinion on who he thinks is going to take home.
I'm going to give you my opinion on this if you want to stay healthy, and that this show today is brought to you by...
There you go. Omega Lies, Species Nutrition.
The Omega 3s and 6s all in one, so you don't have to do what everyone else does. Because here in Australia, it's really hard to get a combination of 2, or even the 6. You can get Omega 3s to the cows come home, but trying to find a good Omega 6 here is like finding gold if you can find them.
Well, you know what it is?
Well,
no one mixes fish oil, which is the omega 3 you need to use. You need to use animal source of omega 3s. No one mixes it with primrose oil because they always put plant oils together. So I was so frustrated with it that I said I got to do this, the right way, because I know that humans don't convert plant sources of omega 3s into usable form. So you can't take flaxseed oil and think you're getting the DHA and EPA you need from the omega 3s. So you have to take an animal source of it. So fish oil is imperative. So I was like, why doesn't anyone mix fish oil and evening primrose oil, which is the good omega 6s? And I don't know why no one did it. So I just did it,
And now it has been done. So make sure people buy it. Isn't it amazing though? I'll go to these like Chemist Warehouse now, and the amount of oils there, I mean, krill, red krill, super red krill. Yeah, I'm like, there's like a whole shelf just of these oils from God knows what fish source, even a rock. We've got a fucking oil from the rock in the ocean. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like,
the most important thing is once again to have an animal source of omega 3 and then a plant source of omega 6s. Okay, and then have it in the right amount. A lot of people take fish oil, but I'm like, how much do you take? They're like, I take 1,000 milligrams a day. I'm like, that's not enough. You got to do at least 3 grams of that stuff. And we actually put an omega-7 fat in there, which is not necessarily it's not an essential fatty acid, but palmitoleic acid actually increases insulin sensitivity, and it actually reduces C-reactive protein, which is a measure of inflammation in your body. So especially with COVID really raises inflammation in the body, which is why it causes a lot of the side effects that you get from it. So this Omega Life product is something you should absolutely be taking.
Amanda just sent me the email with my order saying it's on the way, which is good because I've just run out. Look, oh no.
It'll probably take. Well, actually, you always get our orders pretty quickly, which is amazing because usually Australia takes forever. But
they see Lee Priest and they go, oh, shit, we got to get it to him.
You know what it is? Now they're charging so much money for shipping that I think they actually feel bad that it takes too long, so they actually deliver it quicker now. So
well, I can't believe the American Post still won't post shit because of COVID. When Fing sent me that thing saying we do not send to these countries due to COVID, and we got commercials here on TV still showing like delivery men coming to your door. For Glen 20. Make sure when you get your package you spray it with Glen 20 because it kills the coronavirus. I'm like, who does that? Come on. So when you go in the grocery store, you spray everything.
They showed that you can't even get it from like contact. It's like, unless you stuck your finger up like someone's nose who had it, you're not going to get it from grabbing a package of hamburger meat at the supermarket. You're not going to catch COVID.
Speaking of fucking delivery men to the door, I'm going to call fucking Rob Jordan out on fucking bullshit with his fucking pizza delivery videos. I've never seen. This is scripted worse than The Bachelor and fucking Married at First Sight. I'm like, how does he know it's even the pizza man coming to the door? Dave, when someone rings your doorbell, do you go to the door with your fucking phone already on record to record the person at your door? I mean, like even the first guy who talks to with the beard, like you can just tell that's set up. And then the second guy, I mean, this is so set up, it's like ridiculous. I don't know how you fell for it, Dave. This is like the most pathetic form of acting and pizza. And normally too, when you do call pizza and they say, well, you can ask for cash and that, generally most places I know, I've had friends that work at them, they have caller ID and they check the number. So if he's living in some state and I get a number from out of state ordering pizza to his house, I'd be like, well, that's a bit weird. Why is this number from New York and this guy's down in Florida or vice versa? That seems weird. So
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit. It's all fake. Rob's just having a go, saying they're sending pizzas to his door. He probably ordered it himself, but he goes, "He's not. They're doing a prank here. So what the prank is, we're gonna do? I'm gonna film you, and then I'm gonna say it wasn't ordered. Okay, this is gonna be so funny. That bullshit.
You know what? Probably this is probably what happened, Lee. I think
I just told you what happened. I just went into great detail, Dave.
Johnny Bravo really got him. He punked him. He definitely ordered a pizza to his house. And then Rob thought about it probably after and said to himself, this would be a good video to film. If I could actually get. So, of course, no one else delivered another pizza to his house. So he just figured, I'll fake it, And so he probably paid some guy to say he was the pizza delivery guy. And they probably ordered a pizza. And you're right. He probably fabricated the whole thing.
But even the way the first guy,
he probably did have a fake pizza delivered to his house at one point. But I don't think that was the video of it. So I'll ask.
Both were bullshit. I can tell
I'll
both.
call him out on the next side.
Oh, he's gonna lie.
By the way,
he's gonna lie like he normally does.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
By the way, Jimmy the Bull, was here yesterday. He surprised me in studio.
Yes, I watched it. I FaceTimed Jimmy in his hotel room last night. I was FaceTiming.
You know what? So listen. I got to tell you this. So he went to Logan's MMA class. We were hanging out and bullshitting, and then we had some Outback.
I heard he fucked your sink up too.
We were filming a commercial, and he was he was hitting the sink, and I said, Jimmy, listen to me. We could put a sound effect in there. You're going to break the sink. I said, if you keep hitting, because he's got that fucking. His fist is like a hammer, and when Jimmy gets into acting, you got a pretty big hammer too. When Jimmy gets
in the hand.
Well, you look like you have a strong hand. Jimmy's hand is like a fucking mallet. I'm telling you, you would not want to get hit with that hand.
This is like Thor's hammer. Look.
Jimmy's hand is like so callous too. Lee, he could probably hit you could probably
like sandpaper.
And it would probably bend on his hand. So he's doing the scene and he's getting all into the whole commercial because first of all, Tyler loves doing like creative commercials. So him and Jimmy are like off on their own. And I keep hearing the sink getting banged. I'm like, Jimmy, and even Tyler's like, you don't have to hit
Jimmy's shirt too. Just want to show you Jimmy's shirt.
I'm not wearing a shirt today.
I sent Jimmy the link. He said he might come on today. He didn't know where he was going to be there.
Well, I'm trying to get. You're not letting me get to the story. So Jimmy breaks.
He broke the sink.
He broke the sink. So he broke the top. So he had to go to Home Depot and get the epoxy. And luckily, Jimmy can fix pretty much anything. So anyway, so we go out to eat. We order Outback into the house. He sits with my family and we eat. And then he's like, all right.
You mean like Outback Steakhouse, like the Australian one?
Yeah.
Did you have the bloomin' onion?
We did not get the bloomin' onion. Jimmy got a ribeye with some shrimpy on the barbie.
Kookaburra wings.
They don't have kookaburra wings here. Yeah.
They don't. So, that's just like chicken wings, but they call them kookaburra wings. Did you have that? The dessert there, the good one to get is the Sydney Sinful Sundae. It's that like big, thick, warm chocolate brownie with the ice cream, and then the chocolate fudge sauce over the top with the coconut shavings and chocolate.
The problem is we order it in, so they deliver it. So that thing would probably be melted by the time it got to us. But I always have the salmon there. I get the same thing. I'm very boring. So Jimmy eats dinner with us, and then he's going to drive 2 hours back to wherever he was staying in St. Pete, and then he was going to drive back to his house today. Up in New York, he was going to go back. So I gave him a hug. Hey, Jimmy, I love you, man. You got to come down here again. So he calls me this afternoon, and he's like, I forgot to give you my straps. I said, all right, throw them in the mail. Don't worry about it. I'll get, send them over to me. I'll measure my wrist for you. He's like, he goes, I'll come bring them to you. I'm like, Jimmy, it's like 2 hours each direction, and you're going completely out of the way because you're going back.
He doesn't want to leave. He wants to see you again.
So I said, hey, if you want to come see me, I'd love to see you. He goes, yeah, I got to give you another hug. So he's supposedly on his way down here now, back down here. I guess we'll have dinner again tonight, and then whatever, hang out a little bit. So yeah,
check your phone. I sent him the link. He might be trying to surprise you for the show again.
Oh really?
Yeah, he might turn up.
Okay, well you never know. He's probably.
Because I said, where are you going to be, Jimmy, at 2:30? He's like, I'm not sure yet if I'm going here.
He's probably going to be in my driveway. That's where he's going to be. So anyway, so he's on his way back down here. So that'll be fun. My son loved him. So
Did Mr. G catch that alligator he was going to catch? Or
You know, the alligator was back in my backyard. I took more video of it. This thing is like this. It's about 3 feet, and it has no fear whatsoever. It was swimming around the dock by my house, and it's pretty cool.
everyone keeps asking what's in these Lee Priest comeback cookies because of Mr. G. I said, crack. If you've seen the videos, crack. I said that Billy Idol one, and then he's got another one this morning where he's got the flower in his hair and he's tearing. Oh,
Jimmy,
he's a genius with all the stuff Mr. G's coming up.
Jimmy thought he looked like John the Baptist. It's
Yes,
not Billy Idol. So.
I was watching the show yesterday, and then he was going on about Johnny Bravo's hair, and then I like it though. I don't know what was being. I think he did tell me because there was this bit where he's talking about Johnny Bravo was talking about Boston, but then the camera cuts to Jimmy, and Jimmy was having a laugh about something because I think when Johnny was talking about taking the gear and stuff like that, and Jimmy's like, taking it for what? Taking it for what? What's he taking it for? He doesn't look any different.
Jimmy didn't realize. Jimmy was having a conversation with me during the show, and he's like, "Is this guy serious? He doesn't take it. He doesn't. Does he even work out?" I said, all you can see is his hair in the video. I can't even see his body. I said, I'm sure he has a physique.
Yeah, I know, it was funny. And then he's like, I'll show that Rob calling me old. I'll go down there and slap him.
Yeah, he does. Jimmy doesn't. You know why Jimmy doesn't like Big Rob? Because you don't like him. So
because he lied. Because he lied. This is how you know he lies. Because there was a question asked of Big Rob in that show yesterday. Rob, have you been into fights? Yeah, I've been in a few fights. Blah blah blah. This and that. Have you ever had your nose broken? This is his answer. I've had some operations on it. You know if you've had your fucking nose broken or not. It's not like you've got to sit there for 2 hours and wonder if I've had my nose broken. It'd be like if I was gay and you asked me, Lee, if you've had a cock in your ass, I'd be like, I'm not sure. I think I'd never been done up the booty hole, wouldn't I, for God's sakes? But Rob doesn't know if he's had his nose broken or not. That's like something big in your life you remember. Even as a young kid, if you broke your nose, you remember you broke your nose. Jesus Christ. Yeah. He's sitting there like, have I?
Big Rob wants me to get Lenny on the show next week. I don't even know if Lenny's still alive for all we know, but I'll have to.
Hasn't Lenny got a YouTube channel?
I haven't heard anything from Lenny. Lenny usually texts me, or one of those guys usually texts me and gives me update. I haven't heard anything. Well,
I'm sure if he died, you'd hear about it.
All right. There was someone who did die, from what I understand.
I saw you post that.
Murray. I don't know if he really. Everyone's reporting this guy died. I don't know who he was, but evidently, I guess he had a big following, and he's from Ireland.
Hold on. Breaking news. Lenny did post a video. Talkers and Gawkers. He's got his shirt off, talking to the camera, and it was streamed 1 day ago on the Big Lenny show, and then there was Leg Day Sunday. He's got his shirt off, talking to the camera 2 days ago. So
I don't know why he takes his shirt off all the time. You know, you take your shirt off. I guess maybe his big belly is something like that. You know how like some people that they're known for certain things. I guess he's known for that. So he figured, I might as well show everyone.
I don't. Can't even hear him. All right, he's talking, but we don't hear him.
Yeah, never mind.
But he's still around.
All right. I'm glad to hear that he's still around. I like Lenny. All right, let's pull this guy, Scott Murray, supposedly has passed of heart failure. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. It seems like he's got a pretty good following here on Instagram, and I know he had a YouTube channel that was pretty popular. I don't know if he's, what his deal was. He's got about 167,000 followers, so he had a popular.
Say no more.
Every picture though on his Instagram looks exactly the same. They're all like these.
It's from that side. He must have a bad arm like Lee Priest. He's doing the old just this side.
There's no front shots of this guy.
No, it's that same arm.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, but
if you notice, like I was saying before, it's like you're not sure, but someone reports on it, so they'll be like, "This is Nick's Strength and Power reporting on Scott Murray dying. I just watched it on Bodybuilding and Bullshit, which they got it from Cutlercast. The Cutlercast report on this. So I'm going to report on the report from the other report that they reported on that this person died. I haven't, not too sure yet, but because the other 3 reports that reported on this report from the first report that I'm reporting, I think he could have died.
I really hate that, and that's why I don't like reporting these things. But people send me texts and they say, "Oh, please give some, let people know what happened." So I don't know. This is what was sent to me. I hope it's wrong. I hope this guy Scott Murray didn't die. He seems like a nice kid, and he was obviously doing a lot of instructional videos, and I like people who educate people. So if he did die, my condolences go out to his.
And that's the crazy thing these days. It's like, you know, when people send you a message or they want instant replies, they want instant this.
Yeah.
It's like now when they hear this, they expect you to do something. They go, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you do it? It's like, because I don't have to. It's like, I do this channel. Like, we used to get the magazines, and we were grateful we got a magazine. But it's like, you know, if you do shows, you see it sometimes. You might do the Iron Rage After Hours, but if you miss one show, people get annoyed. Yes, I understand they love the show, but it's almost like you need to put a show up. It's like you have to do it for us. It's like, wait a minute, you're not paying me to do it. I'm just doing it because I like it. But the sad thing is, because things are so instant now, let's just say this guy did pass and someone in the gym or was there or whatever, and then everyone reports on it. I think it's the worst thing ever for their family members to find out online or somewhere that their son's passed or their husband's passed.
When Boston died, you know, Nick Trigilli, I think, had put out a video. I don't even know how he found out, because I texted Boston's wife, because I always verify these things, especially if I know the person. And she was like, you know, because Nick had reported the paramedics came and took him away, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. He hadn't even left the house yet. She was like laying on his body, you know, when I texted her, and she's like, I don't even know how anyone knows. I mean, the police haven't even gotten here yet. I mean, the morgue hadn't even gotten there to take him out of there. So
I think there's either two ways that she's obviously told someone close to her who's told someone, or when a call comes through to let's just say the ambulance or paramedics, someone in that industry is in the bodybuilding or fitness, and they've gone, hey, I've just got this call, Boston Lloyd, such and such. So, but it's a shame when things get out that quick. It's just like.
Well, you know what's weird? You know, Mel Chancey had called me, and his daughter, you know, works for some kind of an eye surgeon, and I guess, you know, when people die, you know, if they're organ donors, they take the cornea from their eye, and you know, well, that's Mel's daughter's job is to go around to the different hospitals in Florida and collect corneas from people who and Boston was on. I guess that, you know, they got to take it immediately. So Boston must have been an organ donor. They couldn't take, you know, his kidneys, obviously they were no good, but they must have taken his corneas, and that Mel's daughter had to go pick them up. You know, it was kind of weird, because she called Mel and she didn't know anything about bodybuilding. She's like, do you know a bodybuilder, Boston Lloyd? And Mel's like, yeah, what, you know, he didn't even know what happened. And she's like, oh, I had to go pick up his corneas. So
that just shows you that he wasn't a selfish person, because how many people out,
you know, at least
how many people out there, don't donate organs. And like I said, yes, his kidneys could be saved, but like I said, they can get corneas, they can get other. I forget there was a list once of how many things they can actually take from a person that can go on to help somebody else. So,
absolutely,
like you said, you know, okay, he's passed away, but now his cornea could help someone that's going blind and needs to see. So,
I have a friend who you know, when I was 17 or 18 years old, I had my appendix taken. I think it was 17. And I was in the hospital, and the guy in the bed next to me was a cystic fibrosis patient. He was like 28 at the time. I think he was 10 years older than me. He was an Olympic pole vaulter. And he really actually taught me a lot. I was in the hospital with him for a week, and he taught me how to eat, because I knew nothing about nutrition. I knew nothing about anything. I would just eat, like you said, whatever, you know, ice cream and cookies and bullshit like that. And he taught me how to eat. And you know what? He is now he's still alive. He's the longest living cystic fibrosis patient of all time. And I think he's in his like 60s now. And he had a lung transplant. I think he had a kidney transplant. He did like 3 organs. They transplanted it into him because his lungs were shot from cystic fibrosis. He couldn't even breathe anymore. And he got a lung transplant. I think he got a kidney too, and a pancreas or something like that, you know, because cystic fibrosis kind of can, you know, wreak havoc on all your organs. And so he's still alive. He's lucky.
Lucky having that many transplants, the body didn't reject one of them.
But think about that. If there wasn't people who were donating organs, this guy would be dead, you know? So it's
and the only reason I don't put down an organ donor was because I've watched some of those movies where if I put down I'm an organ donor, right, and they go, wait a minute, we can get all this shit from him. This guy's worth more to us dead than he is alive. Just let the fucker bleed out, and we can just use his organs. That's why I've seen those movies, Dave, where they get your organs and make lots of money from you. So they could save you, but they're like, no, we can get. He's worth more dead. So
speaking of bizarre TV shows, have you seen that? I just started watching it. It's called Severance. Have you seen that on Apple TV?
I was going to click on it last night, but I didn't. Yeah, I saw it there. It's by Ben Stiller or something. Is
yes, it's the first episode. You got to get through it because the beginning is,
Okay.
it's almost annoying. Like you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I had my finger on the button last night. I'm like, should we start it or shouldn't we?
No, do it. It's actually, I watched 2 episodes. It's actually, I'm kind of hooked a little bit now. But the first episode is really weird. It's like,
Okay.
what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, it's got to do with some like office building or people workers or something.
The whole premise is that when you go to work, they're able to split your mind so that when you go to work, you only remember what's going on at work. Once you leave, okay, you don't remember anything about work and you just remember your regular life. So it's split. Like they've severed.
That could be a good thing. That could be a good thing.
It is, but the problem is you don't know what goes on at work, and when you're at work, you have no idea even who you are, or what you do outside of work. So.
Well, that way, look at the good side. If you leave work, you go home, you're with the family. It's quality time. And then when you go to work, you don't think about, I'd rather be out fishing or something because you're at work. This is great.
They even stagger when the people leave so that no one ever runs into each other. It's kind of weird.
I did watch what's his name, and I did put the beginning of it, the dancing scene, because have you watched Peacemaker with John Cena?
No, I don't like it. I find it annoying a little bit.
Well, I found the first one a bit annoying, but then as I got into it, it was funny because because there's so much swearing in it and this and that, and he's going off about Batman, all these things. And on the very last episode, when he finally kills all these aliens and he's carrying the girl, and all of a sudden Superman comes down and there's the Flash, Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
They got the real people in it? That's great.
And at the end, he's like, now you fuckers turn up and shit like this. And he's like, sorry, we're late. He's like, where were you, man? I'll fucking fish somewhere. And he turns to the Flash. He goes, I don't fuck fish. He goes, well, people think you fuck fish. I mean, it's just like all this swearing and stuff. But that's the only reason I watch it, just because it's so much silly arguing back and forth. There's a few scenes in it where they talk about stuff where he's like Batman, saying he has a go at Batman, and then he goes, that Kryptonian fucker, and blah, blah, blah. He's just ragging on all the other superheroes in different episodes and stuff, but it's pretty funny.
I watched the Suicide Squad.
What's his name?
Yeah, the second Suicide Squad. So that's where I kind of saw his character, but it was kind of annoying to me. But
and it's like even the costumes looks cheapy type shit thing. But his father in it, this is funny because you get through it. I'm surprised because through it too, they use a lot of different racist terms and shit because his father, Robert Patrick, was the superhero, or like a bad superhero, but he's a white supremacist. Right. So I mean, everything he says is just racist through it, and that he's got this woman there, and he's like having a go at her all the time, going ching chong chong chong. And he's like, why is that fucker? Because I'm Chinese. He's like, you tell me, nip. And it's like they just keep. It's like, I'm surprised he got away.
He's like the Archie Bunker of like superheroes.
Yeah. It's pretty funny the way I'm surprised they got away with some of the stuff they were saying here, but it's because I guess they let him go with it this day and age. But because it's like give and take on both sides, and when he puts on his devil costume, the hoodsmen with him they have white sheets over their head with horns on it, so it looks like the KKK, but they got horns on them. He went over there, did he? I think he went over there. Like they're just like total comedy, stupid thing, but. It's pretty funny.
Sometimes if it's too spoofy, I don't enjoy it, but we'll see. I wanted to talk about also there was a trainer who died. Now this is in Wales.
Was that the caffeine one?
Yes. Let me pull this.
As I drink my caffeine.
Some people are the stupidest people, and you know what? They almost deserve to die because they're so stupid. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And this guy decided, you know what? I don't want to buy a pre-workout. I'm going to make my own. So he goes out and he buys like bulk caffeine, and he's going to mix, he's going to do his own little, I'm going to put some citrulline in here. I'm going to put some, beta alanine, and I'm going to make
cocaine,
my own. It's cheaper.
A bit of cocaine, a bit of speed, a bit of crack.
The problem is there's a reason why people buy stimuli or whatever the other, pre-workouts are in the market, because we've already done all the mathematical calculations. We put the right amounts of everything in there. We've tested it on a ton of people. We've got the flavoring system down. What's the big deal if you spend a few bucks to do that? This guy thought he was going to save money. He put the equivalent of 200 cups of coffee into one pre-workout. The guy fucking had a heart attack and was foaming at the mouth and died.
Well, look at that. He saved money. He'll never have to buy another product again.
Lee,
Presto.
he had 392 milligrams of caffeine in every liter of his blood.
Oh.
That's like a rock star in every liter of his blood. He had that much caffeine. He was 29 years old, this guy.
It's like I was saying, though, it's crazy the amount of young kids I see now going to school, waiting at bus stops, drinking the big Monster energy drinks, drinking caffeine like from coffee shops, and like these young kids getting wired just to go to school and shit because they're up all night on their fucking phones on fucking Tinder or Facebook. I'm so tired. They need energy drinks. It's like, you know, I used to go to school. This is what I used to have. I'd stop at the corner shop. I'd walk down the hill. My mum would make me lunch, and I'd take lunch. I'd even take boiled eggs. So on the way to school, I'd get hungry. So I started eating the boiled egg.
Yeah.
I'd go into the corner shop. You get the nice glass bottle of milk. I'd drink a little bit out of it, and the lady would pump some chocolate syrup into it for me. So as I'm going to school, I'd eat boiled eggs and drink a liter of full cream milk on the way to school.
No wonder why you had so much muscle. You were eating a lot of protein.
Yeah, and that's what I'd have. But now I see kids with energy drinks and, like you said, all these coffees before they go into school,
Parents,
after school.
They buy it for the kids. They want them to get better marks in school. They're giving them like Adderall, even though they don't even need it, you know? So this guy, listen, so a cup of coffee has about 80 milligrams of caffeine, okay? Some of these energy drinks have 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. This guy, in one pre-workout that he made for himself, of course, it was the first and last one he ever made for himself, but had 5 grams. That's 5,000 milligrams of caffeine in there, Lee. 5,000 milligrams.
I couldn't even imagine. I remember because I'm very sensitive to pre-workouts. That's why I'm waiting to try yours, because whenever I got a new pre-workout, I'd always take a quarter or half of what the suggested dose was, because I get all that weird feeling. I couldn't even imagine, like, if I'm just using one that's already been measured out,
right?
Like, say, back in the day, what was one of the, was it, like, what's that one?
NO Explode was, I think, the first one.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, but just like one of those, that feeling I'd get from that was terrible on one little scoop of something measured. Could you imagine that feeling, what he took? Once that's coming on,
you died.
He
died. Yeah,
but,
he probably felt like he
was. But you'd have to feel it for a little bit first before you actually had the heart attack. You'd be like, oh shit, something's happening. It's like,
that's got to be the worst feeling of all time, to know you just killed yourself. You know, I tell people when they use stimuli to mix it up in about 8 or 10 ounces, and then just sip it starting 30 minutes before your workout, and make it, you can sip it over an hour or two even, because like you said, if you just shoot it down, if you're not a stim person where you're doing tons of stims all the time, it's going to be too much for you. It's going to be too much at one time. You want it to kind of prolong. It's like drinking a glass of wine. You don't just take a glass of wine and gulp it down. You kind of sip it over, 20, 30 minutes or whatever, however long it takes you. So you get a little buzz come on, you kind of maintain that buzz. It's the same thing with a pre-workout. You don't need it to come on super fast. You just want it to be sustainable so that when you get into the gym, you feel good. And so guy, because
like I said, once it's in your body, that's it. Because it's like when I don't drink, but sometimes, like a few months ago, I said, okay, with the wife, I'll have some drinks with you. And because I hate the taste of alcohol, I had the tequila like this, and I'm holding my nose, and I just have a shot. And like, once I've had the taste of it, I can't go back and have it again. So I said, you know what? Look, just line them up. So I just got like 6, 7 shots, sort of just going like this.
Crazy! Oh, that's a lot of.
And then I'm sitting there, like I said, once it's in the body, Dave, I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes. And I'm thinking, then I go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm trying to. No, I'm trying. I wouldn't come out. So I'm thinking, oh fuck, I just got to hang on for the ride down. It's like when you're sitting there, I'm like, okay, I'll shut my eyes, and the room's going this way. All of a sudden, the room's going this way. So I open my eyes. I just went laid and curled up in the fetal position in the shower. Yeah. Like, fuck that.
It's all about that.
Because like I said, once it's in the body.
Think about it. You don't drink any alcohol and you drink 6 shots of tequila. That's like what this idiot did, with the caffeine. You would have taken 1 shot, you probably would have felt amazing, But the point is, this guy didn't try to kill himself. He just didn't understand the mathematics. And believe me, Lee, I have people that contact me all the time. They don't know how to mix GH. They don't know how to mix HCG. And I explain, I'm such a good explainer. And they just don't get the math. They don't understand the difference between milliliters, which is liquid volume, versus weight, which is how many milligrams or grams you're using of a product. So this guy had no right to be mixing up his own pre-workout because he didn't even understand the mathematical calculations involved with it. It's like I've seen guys who they're going to do 10 units of insulin, of a fast-acting insulin. They're going to eat 100 grams of carbs with it, And instead of doing 10 units, because they don't know how to read a freaking insulin syringe, they do 100 units. And now they're fucking like almost an insulin shock because their blood sugar will not raise. They got to go to the hospital and get an IV because they're dummies and they don't know. If you don't know how to do math, don't put drugs into your body if you don't know what you're doing. And guess what? Don't make your own pre-workouts, okay? That's why it's not that expensive, okay? That you can't go.
I was going to say with all the pre-workouts out there, why would you even want to make your own when there's so many on the shelf?
4 different ingredients, Lee. I mean, it's ludicrous. You're not saving any money.
It would have been better off going, okay, I like this pre-workout. That one gives me a buzz, and this one. It would have been better off buying 2 different ones and have half a scoop of each and see how that went. It would have been like rather than let me play mad scientist and.
It's a tragic story, you know. We're making light of it, but the reason I'm mentioning it out there is because there's probably other people out there too. I know guys that want to, you know, they're like, oh, I don't want to buy. I'll make my own steroids. They don't even know how to measure out the milligrammage to make their own steroids. These people can't do math, and they're trying to make their own anabolics. I mean, if you're not qualified to do, look, I'm not qualified to build my own bathroom, so I'm not going to go into the bathroom and start ripping up tile. And try to do it to save a few bucks because I don't want to pay a guy to come in and do it because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I understand what my limitations are. You know, if it's a different story if you're a chemist. If you're a chemist and you want to make your own stuff, go ahead. You know.
And half these people couldn't even make a cake. So how are you going to make a fucking steroid? Me, Dave, I'm good at making cakes. I can make lamb roast. I can roast the pork with nice crackling on top. See, I'm a good baker, but I'd still never try and make drugs because I just couldn't.
First of all, you know what? They really shouldn't sell bulk stimulants to the public. You know, that should be something you need to have a license for, like a manufacturer, because it is very dangerous. You know, and I mean, they won't sell ephedra powder to anyone. You know why, Lee? Because people turned it into crystal meth. So why would they sell bulk caffeine powder? It's just to the general public. It's irresponsible. It really is, because that's something that can kill you. It can, and a small amount. He could have done a teaspoon of that would have killed him probably. So very.
Why can you have somebody walk into a store like this? I'm very angry and I'm on medication. Can I buy that shotgun and give me fucking 20 rounds of ammo? It's like, why do they sell guns to people like that, Dave?
You're right. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So, you know, I want to just, the reason I'm really, you know, emphasizing this story is because I know that there's people out there. I'm sure Boston has done stuff like that too, you know, where he buys his own stuff and because if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. That's the bottom line. Okay. Don't cheap that. Don't be a cheap.
I'm sure they do.
Don't be these pre-workouts are not that expensive. You break them down on a per serving basis. It's like $2 a serving, $1.50 a serving. Just go buy a pre-workout. I mean, how cheap do you have to be? I mean, you probably drop
not a pre-workout. You'll buy stimuli. Thank you very much. Not just any pre-workout. You'll buy stimuli, one that's been tested on people. Only 5 people died during the test, but it was out of 1,000. So the numbers are pretty good, you know. But they already had pre-existing conditions like COVID, so it was like that's what killed them. It wasn't the stimuli.
I only killed my employees who were testing the product. No real customers have had any problem.
And they signed a waiver, so it's okay. Right. They knew what they were getting into beforehand. That's right. You wonder where Tyler is today? Well, he took 2 scoops.
If you would have seen Tyler and Jimmy filming this commercial, wait till you guys see this commercial. It's very funny. They were like 2 kids like that I released into the playground, and they were going forever. They must have spent 3 hours filming this commercial. It wasn't that long, but they were having such a good time. They were giggling like 2 kids. So Jimmy's already asked me, when's the commercial going to be edited? I said, Jimmy, he just shot the footage yesterday. He's got to sit down and edit it. I said, he's going on.
Jimmy looks so happy because even that photo of you, Jimmy, and your son, Jimmy looks so happy there. He looks all, you know, it's a nice photo.
Yeah, thank you. He was very happy that he got to spend some time with us. Look, I told him, I said, Jimmy, just freaking move down here. I said, I don't understand what you're even thinking about at this point. You know,
I heard you say build the shower. He had to fix the sink, so he should have just started building the shower.
You're right. I haven't taken the tape off the sink yet. I don't know actually how he did. But, there's Jimmy.
See, look at that.
There's Logan.
Yeah, look at that picture there. Look at
Logan
Jimmy,
was
all
lo-
happy.
Logan was loving Jimmy. He was loving him.
Was he?
My daughter, however, my youngest, Shayla, the 2-year-old, she's a little scared of Jimmy. She likes Mr. G better because he gives her cookies, So
Oh well.
I said Mr. G is kind of like a jacked up Pee Wee Herman, so that's why kids I think like him so much. He's very non-intimidating. So.
Can you pick a better example than Pee Wee Herman who sits at the back of the bus?
He likes to go to the porno movies.
He did that, didn't he? Did he get caught at the back of the bus masturbating?
No, he was, I think, jerking off in a movie theater, like a porn movie theater. Yeah, something like that. I mean,
oh, that's okay. That's what people do in those porno movie theaters. What else you got to do it?
You would think if you're like a big star, though, like you probably could find a better place than a movie theater to do it. So like no one.
But then again, it's Pee Wee Herman. He probably thought if I go here, people are going to think I'm just somebody that looks like him. Because remember, they always said that if Elvis came back today and he went in an Elvis lookalike contest, he probably wouldn't win. Thing. Yeah, so I was like, so if this guy probably, Pee Wee Herman probably thought no one's going to recognize me. They'll just say it looks like him.
He was probably dressed as Pee Wee Herman. That's the only problem.
He just came from filming. And sitting next to him in the red cardigan was Mr. Rogers.
Like when Lou Ferrigno used to get off the set of the Incredible Hulk and he would drive home with the makeup on and he got pulled over once by a cop and the guy was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm the Incredible Hulk. All right, you can go.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, sure you are. Yeah.
Anyway,
send the ambulance down.
Yeah, this weekend is the Arnold Classic, of course, and Lee and I won't be there, but John Hansen and Chris Aceto will be doing all the play-by-play there. But we will be home, and Lee and I will be doing like we always do after the Olympia or the Arnold. We'll do the wrap-up after the show is over. And I don't know if you've signed up yet. I signed up for the live stream. If you do it, I think before tomorrow, you get it's $10 cheaper.
No, you got to remember, I'm from Australia, so it's almost double for me. So I'm just going to watch somebody who's playing it on their Facebook or YouTube. I got to pay double from Australia.
Don't be a cheapo. You know what happened to the guy who was cheaped out on the caffeine? He died. So
well, like you said, it's like $50 for you. That'd be like $90 for me.
No, I think it's $30. I think it's $29 for me. So how much could that?
But that'd be like 50.
All right, I'll pay for your download the live stream. All right, I'll pay for it. And we'll do.
Oh, in that case, I'll hope you just do the exchange rate.
Yeah.
180, Dave. It's 180. Sorry, I said 50. My mathematics is fucked up. Good thing I don't make stimulants. So it's 180.
So Lee and I'll be wrapping up everything after the Friday night festival.
I got to work out the time difference. What time are they on in?
It's perfect because it's always like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, our time, which is usually like 5 o'clock your time, right? Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, because what are they? What's Columbus? Are they like?
You did the wrap up
2 hours, or
you did the wrap ups with me for the Olympia, and which was the same time zone, and we would do it. It was like the middle of the day for you, and it was like late.
Yeah, because you're like what 3 p.m. then now after 3 p.m. aren't you?
Yeah.
3:20 there.
Yeah, 3:20.
Yeah, because I'm 7:20, so yeah, be the afternoon for me. Yeah.
All right, so everyone has been asking me. They want to know. Yeah, we've been doing. We did Heavy Muscle Radio. We kind of showcased the show. Chris Aceto was giving us his input. Everyone wants to know Lee Priest. Who does he think is going to win? Let's start with the obvious choice, Brandon Curry. Tell me about Brandon Curry and what you think is. What do you think we're going to see from him this week?
I think you're going to see probably one of the best Brandon Currys we've seen. If all from judging by the pictures that we've seen, it's hard to tell, as we said, from Instagram pictures and lighting and different spots. But I think after getting runner-up at the Olympia, he's going to go in here and shock a few people. So I see him for the win. For him to not win, would be very surprised. And for second, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think in second or third, Brett.
Really? So you think Brett Wilson's going to shock a lot of people then?
From the pictures I've seen, he's looking full and his conditioning is looking good. So as long as he keeps going on the way he's going and doesn't do anything crazy, which sometimes they do those last couple of days and you're like, what happened? Yeah, and then the two I can't tell is because Kuklo and Regan, in photos, it's like deceiving by themselves. You can look at them and go, because they're not like the freak monsters. Yes, they've got a wide structure like Kuklo has and shoulders and that. They're the type they actually really do need to see them standing beside people. So it's hard to say where they're going to pull up. I'm hoping, I can probably see Regan or Kuklo maybe in the top 5 or 6, but Bonac, I'm hoping if he can come back with that fullness, would push in there too. But yeah, but I'm going to go with Brandon, Brett, maybe who else? Oh, Samson. See, that's the thing. Samson's not a mass monster, but Samson I think has beautiful shape and lines and stuff. So there we're going to go because the judges are going to be like, Brandon has beautiful
All right,
lines, but
let me
Brandon
put.
also has
I
the mass.
want to put up a picture of Bonac because before you make your prediction, Bonac is looking pretty much like the old Bonac that I've seen. His legs seem to be back up in size. His upper body's looking pretty freaky. I mean, he's pushed Brandon Curry to the limit, and he's beaten Brandon before. And
Well, if he can come back like the old Bonac, he can easily. If he can come back like the old Bonac we've seen in a couple of years gone by, he could easily win the show if he comes back like the old Bonac. Easy.
Yeah.
Or be second or top 3 easy. If he comes back like the old Bonac, he'll definitely be in the top 3, no doubt.
This was from last week, according to him, this picture. So that, I mean, he's probably looks pretty close to this right now, I'm sure.
Last week and depleted, no carbs, Dave. You got to add the whole.
That's right. Well, they got to throw that. Whenever people write that, I'm always like, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't carb up because a lot of guys look better depleted than they do the day of the show when they're on 6,000 grams of carbs.
And that's the thing too, because I never carved up. I'd probably eat a little more. Like say, when they say carb up, they go crazy. The lowest I ever went on carbs was 250. So if I was going to compete, I might go to 350, just 100. I might just add 20 grams to each meal. And that was enough because, like you said, sometimes if you're a little bit depleted, but your conditioning's better on stage, you look so much better with the conditioning. The illusion is that you look bigger.
Right. Here's Kuklo.
You come in fuller. Yeah, see, he looks good, but he's
a guy who you can definitely see a difference when he's depleted because he's a big guy with a big structure. When he fills out, he's gonna round off a lot more. But I think this might be the best shape he's ever in. He's pretty shredded here.
I see him top 5, but like I said, I'll go Brandon first right now. But if Bonac comes back of old, I see Brandon or Bonac, and then from then on down with like Kuklo.
Kuklo's deceptive. You know why? Because alone he looks okay, but when he stands in that lineup with
that's what I mean. Yeah,
these guys. I mean, he really stands out because he's got a very big structure.
That's what I mean. Like by himself, sometimes you can look at him in photos, the same as Regan, and go, "Oh, he doesn't look that great." But when they're in the lineup, you're like, "Holy shit!" He looks better. Whereas some guys look better by themselves, and in the lineup they look crap. Right. Kuklo and Regan actually look better in a lineup than by themselves. So.
And then you got Justin Rodriguez, who's been coming on.
Oh yes, I forgot about Justin. He looks really good. He's from the photos. He looks the best he's looked for a long time. So
absolutely, yeah. And that's from the show he did last year. But if there is a recent picture of him. This is a crazy shot right here. We showed this on Heavy Muscle Radio the other week. Hold on.
It's like I said, I'm going to predict that all these predictions don't mean shit to the day of the show.
You know why? Because Lee? Because every time we go to these shows, all the guys that we've built up and analyzed, 50% of those people will be off, either too carved up, not hard enough, too flat. So you're dealing with like 3 or 4 guys that will be at their best, and that's really who. And sometimes it's not the favorite. So it could be, like you said, Brett Wilkin, Justin Rodriguez, and Brandon might be the best 3 guys conditioning wise, and the other guys might all be off, or vice versa. So you don't really know
exactly. That's why I said it's like I'm going to predict. I don't know shit till the day of the show. But like I said, if Brandon comes in at his best, he's going to be hard to beat. But from Brandon on down, it could go anyway. Like you said, whoever comes in shape and they're on the best. But the thing is, I think this show normally, like you said, because there's only 9 guys in it now, whereas before you'd have a few more guys and, like you said, hit and miss. A lot of guys come off. But I think the prize money being up on this show is giving a lot of people the incentive to actually come in good shape. So
I was talking to Dominic Mutasio yesterday. We did an interview with him. I don't know if we put it up yet, but he is now coaching Nick Walker. Yeah. And so he said, one of the things that was disturbing, that really bothered Nick is that he really could have done the Arnold Classic. They raised the prize money to like, what, 180,000. Second place is now the same prize money as first place was when Nick won it last year. So I mean, even if he came in second, he would have gotten a really, really nice paycheck, and he would have had a full year almost to wait for the Olympia. So really it was probably a bad idea for him not to do the Arnold, and I think that's what his the
Well,
last coach, you know,
I'll say it again. I'm no expert, but like I mentioned on the show with Chris Aceto the other day, and that I think some of the reasons these bodybuilders are having these problems is because, yes, we can say steroids all we want, but when we get the young guys like Nick, who's 25, and some of these other guys who only compete once a year, and like I said, so once a year you're competing.
yeah,
Once a year, all that time of the year, you're sitting up around 300 pounds. You're
right.
taking gear. Yes, I said it. We take gear at contest time, but sometimes it could be in smaller amounts for the
Right.
gear and you're changing the gear. But also at contest time, you're eating so much cleaner. You're
Right.
doing cardio. So to me, a lesser of two evils being big,
healthier
fat and bulk. Yeah, even though, yeah, who's to say healthier, but we know that doing cardio and eating
you said,
cleaner.
they're doing the same gear, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not on gear, you know. So
Yeah,
and if a guy
like I
Nick
said,
Walker, you know, can collect 120 to 180,000 at the Arnold, and then the week after do the Boston Pro and make another whatever.
And if you're in shape, like you said, you're going to be 30 probably pounds lighter, plus the cardio you're doing. And we know contest diets, it's clean food, chicken breast, rice, salads, lean fish. So to me, like you said, if you're taking gear, you're probably going to be healthier on gear, doing cardio, eating cleaner, and keeping your body weight at a lower. Because we used to do 3-4 shows minimum a year. One show I did 11 shows. And the thing is too, you learn your body more rather than try and do one show a year now, which a lot of people are doing. To me, it just seems, okay. Yeah, but the thing is, then we used to too, because like I said, we came off this bridging and gapping and fucking whatever they do now, or they don't bridge and gap, they hit fucking cruise control, whatever it is. It's like we did the 12, 16 weeks on, and then when we were off for I was off for 3 or 4 months. I wouldn't even touch a drug. I just eat lots of food, get fat, breathe heavy, and then come time I'd go back on the cardio, take gear again for the next show. So but now they're just staying on the gear.
Right, but you know what? He could have done the Arnold and then gone off all the gear for 3 months if he wanted to, and he still would have had almost a whole 9 months before the Olympia. It definitely was a bad decision. But you know what? Look, he could do the Olympia this year at the end of the year, and then keep going, do the Arnold next year, because it's almost like right next to each other, and then take off and do it. Like
I said, and like I've said before, and like I said, they should be made in their contracts to do at least 2 or 3 shows a year. And people go, Lee, but it's hard on the body. They're taking gear and bulking up anyway in the off season. That's hard on the body. So what other sport? Tell me some other pro sport in the world where they do 1 show a year. Tennis, they got to do it for the year.
It's hard to play 165 baseball games a year too, but these guys do it, and they make a lot of money.
Boxing, MMA fighters. Look at the shit they go through. They do how many fights a year? Like every other sport, they compete more than once a year. So you're getting paid just to do once a year. Then, like you said, the bodybuilders in the off season who get heavy like I used to, and you're taking the gear, and they just sit there and they go, "You want to go for a walk?" "Oh, I can't go for a walk. I might burn muscle." So it's like cardio fit, you're shit in the off season, so that's going to be a stress on the heart. So they should have to do at least 3 shows. It's good for the fans. It's good for the promoters. I don't want to hear it's unhealthy. No, it's not, because they're doing cardio and eating healthier. So it's got to be better than just eating shit food, bulking up and sitting on the couch, shooting gear and training once a day. And that's another thing. We train twice a day generally. I haven't heard Milos on Jay's thing saying how we do cardio, we train twice a day. Now most of them train once a day. Like, if you train any more than that, you're overtraining. It's like, no, I'm just a lazy fucker. It's like, I want to try and get as big as I can, compete as less as I can, but try and be the best in the world when only doing 1 show a year.
Look,
okay,
Lee, it does come down to making money too at some point. If a guy like Nick Walker can win the Arnold Classic, it's almost foolish for him not to make that money, because I mean, how many years are you going to really be able to do this at that level and make that kind of cash?
Especially when you're young, 25.
Walker, think about if Nick won the Arnold and he won the Boston Pro. It's almost like $250,000 right there. I mean, he could buy a house with that. He could start a business. I mean, that's a lot of money, So granted, he's got to pay taxes on it, but that's still a lot of money.
Still, too, is at that prime age where, okay, even if I don't know what it takes, I'm not going to assume, but even if you are doing silly things at that young age like that, you're probably going to get away with a lot more than you are later on in life. So if your body can handle the stress now, do it now and get all those shows in, make that money, like you said, put it away. So then later on, once you're up in, like I said, he's got a chance to be Mr. Olympia. So once you get up there, then you can just do
do
the
one
old
show a
Sean
year,
Ray
right,
one,
yeah.
one show a year. But while you're still young and you got all this energy, your body's on fire, do as many as you can, like I said, and put that money away because, like I said, even as good as he is now, who's to say that he couldn't have won the Arnold, like I said, in these other shows? Who's to say, God forbid you don't want it, but you tear a muscle, then all of a sudden, holy shit, there goes half your career in competing or whatever.
You know, think about it. He won one Arnold already. If he could have knocked
Oh.
off another Arnold with it,
Oh.
it's like 6 months. He won 2 Arnolds. He's
Mhm.
almost halfway there at beating Dexter's, record. So
And the thing is, it'd be going back to favourite from winning it. And could you imagine the hype, him battling Curry? Then imagine you knock Brandon off, going into the Olympia, you got your foot in the door for top
stock's
3 at
way
the
up.
Olympia, easy.
Yeah,
So-
your stock's way up. So
Again, we're talking shit. Our predictions mean nothing. So
it's so easy for us to sit here and speculate what the right thing.
I'm going to read the comments on this show and go, look at these 2 old has-beens just talking shit.
No sweat off our brow. Yeah, exactly. We
No.
don't have to do anything. We're just like the Monday morning quarterbacks there.
We're the 2 guys in the box, up in the box on the Muppet Show, just sitting there. What were their names?
Gallery.
Those 2 old guys at the Muppet.
The peanut
Yeah,
gallery.
the 2 Muppets up at there. What were their
Sipping-
names though? There's 2 old guys on the Muppet.
Yeah. Sipping wine and stimuli. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? We got to wrap this up. Once again, guys, if you haven't signed up for the live stream, go over to the Arnold Fitness Weekend website. You can sign up now. You'll get a discounted rate for all 3 days. And that's going to give you Friday's events, Saturday's events, and I think the Sunday Arnold seminar. So that's really exciting. I've signed up already, and of course,
Well, I better sign up then, so I get you the discounted rate.
That's right. Yeah, please get me the discounted rate, Lee. And of course,
Dave's like, I'm not paying full price.
No, I'm not paying. You're going to pay the difference otherwise. Lee Priest and I will be doing wrap-ups, hopefully with King Kamali, after all the shows. And, of course, John Hanson, Chris Aceto will be on the scene there, interviewing people, and we'll be uploading pictures from Ralph Noble all weekend. So we got a great weekend planned at the Arnold Classic. And I want to, once again, congratulate all the competitors and wish them best of luck. And it's going to be another doozy. We'll see. Lee and I will be on the wrap-up Friday night. Make sure you tune into that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss.
And on
of our
Dave's
upcoming
desk there, as you can see, don't make your own, buy stimuli. Dave's got it there on the desk, right there.
Buy your supplements.
And
don't make them yourself, especially if you don't understand math. For now,
And the best combination.
That's the only bottle Lee has left. He's waiting for his order to come. He can't promote anything else yet.
No, I got Fiberlize still, and I got the minerals. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
This one's empty.
We made Jimmy drink a 5.
I got to go now, Dave. I got to go now, Dave. I got to go squeeze some fish in that. I got to go make my own fish oil tablets because I'm out. So I got to go.
When Jimmy was filming the commercial yesterday, we must have made him drink about 3 or 4 Fiberlize. He must have clogged up the bathroom at the hotel room last night when he got home.
It's probably why he hasn't replied to my text message yet. He's still shitting on
I
the
bet
key.
he's probably sitting in my living room right now. All right, I gotta go. I gotta wrap this up. Lee, we'll be doing the wrap up on Friday. Until then, guys, you know what we do every week here at Iron Rage. We will be back.
No, we don't know what.
Next week. And I was going to do the heavy muscle wrap up.
I gotta say, how do they know what we do here? We don't even know what we fucking do here. I ain't got a fucking clue. Where am I?
So
Who are
Lee
you
Priest
people?
and we'll see you next week.